Alright, we just made it out of a burning inferno at this Salt Lake place that was giving us housing like through the government, and we had to wake up. The place was on fire. One of the guys that was staying there was getting kicked out the following day, so he thought it was a good idea to light the place on fire while everybody's sleeping. Man, that was a crazy situation. Cause I wake up, they're hearing the door getting kicked in. It's firemen all over the house. The house is on fire, burning down, and he's screaming, "Yo, get out, get out, get out, everybody get out." So we getting up out of there. I'm talking about, I didn't even put on a shirt, bro. No sneakers, no nothing. I came out there in boxers and socks. So all my prized possession things that I collected along the way is all gone. And now we sitting outside. There's news reporters out there. I think it was Red Cross trying to talk to us, to interview us, to see if they'll try to help out, to give us some money, put us up in hotels. But Salt Lake was out there, and they told us to walk away. And they got us all up in the van so we can get away from the eyes of the people that actually would kind of help us, and got us into this abandoned like daycare center. And somebody gave them the keys to put us in there until they figure out where we going. And this is how the story went.
Okay, who's Mr. White? Who's Mr. White? Are you? We see that you was in one of the rooms by yourself, so we're gonna be putting you in a different location. We're gonna be putting you on Cherry Street. Is that okay with you? Actually, it's 21 Cherry Street. You heard of that before?
Shit, I'm like, damn, why she telling me? I'm like, nah, I don't know Cherry Street. Actually, this area, this whole Mount Holly area, like I used to come out here back in the day, but I don't know the streets like that. So, probably like, I don't know, give it an hour and a half, give or take, they load us back in the van. And they start dropping all the other guys off to different locations. But basically they was some going out in twos, some going out in threes. They still staying together as roommates. But they pull up to this one street, man. And when we turn the corner, we making a left. Turn the corner, we still around the corner from the jail, from Burlington County Jail. And we pull up to this duplex, all white house. And I actually stayed in the front. They gave me the code to get into the door. They had like a key code to get into the door. And I go in, man. I was like, yo, I just jumped into an apartment on my own. They done threw the boy an apartment. Now, I'm still in the world of trying to come up in the world. So you know, I'm looking at everything. As soon as I step in, I'm looking at the rugs, where the bed is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna hook up this little living room setup. The kitchen looked decent. You know what I'm saying? I can tell that I might have some friends in there, if you know what I'm talking about. But I asked them to fumigate the place, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that I can get some dishes and stuff over there, or at least get a voucher so I can get some dishes and some food and stuff in there until my little money come. And boy, as soon as I got arrested and them people left, I called my peoples up, you know what I'm saying, from around my way. Told them like, yo, what just happened to me? All my stuff is gone. And he like, yo, no problem. I got something for you. Like, it ain't gonna be the best of the best, but I got some stuff for you. And some sneaks. You know I'm gonna put you in the game. I was like, alright, you know what it is. And if y'all know who that is, if you know, you know. But he swings through, drops me off a load of stuff. Now I can put something together. I can put a uniform together and all that. But I didn't know that this Cherry Street was going to turn into a whole obstacle. I'm talking about, I didn't know who lived above me, behind, you know what I'm saying, or all the way to the third floor. It was 3 levels to this place. You can't tell by the front, but you go up to the back, it got staircases going up to a 3rd floor, man. So in the front is me, then right next door is going to be the NDN. That's my next door neighbor. Right behind me, in the next apartment behind me, is Philly. That's a girl that's right behind me. And on the 3rd floor, it's Angie and soon coming Bear, her boyfriend, that's locked up at the time. But yo, when I started cleaning and wiping stuff down in the apartment, I'm listening to my phone and listening to some music and all that, bobbing my head like, yo, this is like new beginnings, new start. You know what I'm saying? I'm out the way from everybody, so I know I got a clean slate and all that. Man, I sit down for a while, I'm chilling, smoking cigarettes. They ain't even supposed to smoke in there, but I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm sitting down, I fall asleep. Soon as I get up in the morning, I'm hearing people yelling and talking loud, like arguing back and forth or whatever like that. I was like, damn, what type of shit going on here early in the morning? This look like a nice neighborhood. Boom. I come outside and I'm looking around. I don't see nobody because there's like high bushes across the street. But somebody called my name. Yo, Miz. Yo, Miz. I look over there. I was like, oh, shit. Yo, my peoples from the hotels, my man Steve and his girl Star over there arguing, bickering back and forth. I'm walking over there. He like, yo, what's up, man? Long time no see. I'm like, you know it. I done shook this man's hand, and it was good to see him. I'm not gonna front. It was good to see a familiar, good face. He got a good face card with me, and so did I with him. And he got to telling me like who's around. It was a couple that stayed on the side of his house. You know what I'm saying? He was in the same Salt and Light program. And he was telling me like, yo, Blasey Blah and Blasey Blah here too. I'm gonna just name them the couple. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of shit with them though. Man, so he's filling me in. I'm listening to everything. And he kind of like trying to ask me. He's trying to ask me like, do I still get down? Do I still be sniffing a little? What am I doing? This, that, and the third. And I wasn't giving up no details. I'm like, yo, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Working out a little bit, trying to get my mind right, trying to get into my own little crib for real. Then I started explaining to him what happened. We had to run up out of this burning crib, and now they done blessed me with this apartment. You know what I mean? And he was like, all right. He was like, that's where the captain used to be, the person that used to watch over everybody on this block. I was like, word? Well, that's not going to be me. You know what I'm saying? Cat's probably going to be watching what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But I saw it in his eyes. He had this little twinkle in his eyes. Like, I can tell that he was lit off something. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, you got a cigarette? He was like, I was just about to ask you that. I was like, damn. I was like, mine's across the street, though. Hold up. So I run back over across the street. And one thing I did not do was go into the dresser drawers inside of my apartment. Now, I went on the top of the dresser. I get my packs of cigarette. I open up the bottom drawer. And guess what I see? A damn bowl. If y'all not used to what a bowl is, I'm not talking about a weed bowl. I'm talking about a meth bowl. METH bowl. You know what I'm saying? It still look like it got residue on that thing and everything, and got a torch, a little mini torch to get lit off this shit. And I look at it and I was like, yo, what? Yo, let me bring this to the theater. I'm like, surprise, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I went, wrapped it up, put it in my hoodie. I go across the street. Now he's steady telling me like what's going on, who to watch out for, like do I know my like the people that's next door to me, anybody in my house. I'm like, nah, not really. I ain't seen nobody yet. He was like, yo, this street is like that. Even the dudes are at the corner, they be hustling too. They be doing their thing, but you know I stay out the way. I was like, yeah, I already know how you coming. You know what I mean? Because I remember how I met him inside of the hotel. He was taking up for somebody that was trying to get off on me and trying to get to his room to hide out. And it was no deal. I came to the room with sword in hand, but he held it down for that person, and he got my respect just for staying 10 toes down for the person that came running to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't put them in harm's way. He made sure he stayed there until the whole situation kind of dwindled down I was like, all right, you got my respect. I started dealing with Steve from that day. You know what I'm saying? But back to the story. So, yo, I was like, yo, walk down with me a little bit. Start looking at him, because she know she know how I get down. And she knew how I used to get down. So I'm like, yo, walk down the street with me a little bit. And he was like, well, what's up? He was like, you got something. I know you got something. I was like, nah, but look. And I show him the bowl. He was like, oh, man. He was like, yo, I got a little bit of that. Yo, what's up? Yo, come on. Won't you step in my crib? He like, yo, we don't be supposed to having company around here, but, yo, just step in, man. He was like, I needed one of those. I was like, yo, you can have this shit. You can have it, bro. I just found it inside my dresser drawer. So he looking at me like to see if I'm going to laugh or something. No, I'm not laughing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing no D-rugs or nothing at the time. But things going to gradually change. But at the time, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Now, we go into his little apartment. He got a bigger apartment than me. Way more space than me and everything. I liked it how he was living. I think that was a very big move for him. Coming from those hotels into something like that establishment that he had, you know what I'm saying? And I was proud of my mans. He was doing good. But we didn't know that the following day, things from the past is going to start coming into our future, man. You know what I'm saying? I sat there with my boy all that night. We keying about the different type of fights and me having to, like, he called me one time like, yo, Miz. Because somebody was running down with a knife on me inside the hallway, trying to stab me up high off meth itself. You know what I'm saying? And I turned around and I pulled out what I had, and we had a whole standoff in the hotel, looking crazy as hell. But we was just reminiscing off of things like that and what was going on at the time. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to catch up with each other or whatever. And probably like, I don't know, like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, I dipped off. And I just sat there. I sat there and like, yo, what can I be doing? What does God got in play for me on this Cherry Street? What am I about to go through on this Cherry Street, man? So I looked back out the window. I looked out the window because I saw some cops going past. Then I opened the door. I see they were just shooting down the street. So this might be a regular thing that they survey this area, because it looked like this can be a nice ducked off spot, especially being in South Jersey. And in Mount Holly, you know what it was hitting for. So basically, I sit there and I start conjuring up a plan. Either I'm going to work, get busy, and just try to stay working and then come home late, tired, sleep the next day or whatever, or I'm going to call some of my peoples, probably my man Zeke, and see if he can put me on, and then I'm going to just start serving cats around here. This is what I was thinking. This was my mind state. I had to live, bro, by all means. But I never would have thought that it would have got to the points that it got to in 21 Cherry Street, bro. This was one of the wildest situations that I had to go through by myself in my own apartment. Soon to be an apartment for 3. But I had a plan. I said, F that. I'm about to call Zeke, see what's up with him, see if he can put me on. And I'm going to try to get to know who's around me, man. This is what I was thinking. So this is basically the intro. And I hope that y'all like this, because I'm actually behind the scene with it right now. I'm not doing no visuals, but I'm giving y'all the intro to 21 Cherry Street, somewhere in Jersey. And this is just another part of my life. You know what I'm saying? Another extension of my life and how things went. And it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. But when I got out the phone with my homeboy Zeke, he said he'd be pulling up in like 20 minutes. He was in Pemberton. And then, boy, did that boy pull up. He came in. He like, oh, oh, bitch, damn, bitch. Like, cause he from Trenton, so he like, damn, bitch. He got his own little spot. I'm gonna be coming through. Yo, I'm gonna be squad. I'm gonna bring some chicks up through here too, man. You already know what it is. Let's go. Miz got his own spot. 21 Cherry Street, baby.